Oh, you thought the Kirk and Rashida drama was finally cooling down? Think again, because Jasmine just set the entire internet on fire. And this time, it's not rumors. It's cold, hard proof. Late last night, a blurry screenshot started, circulating in the love and hip-hop fan groups. And when it was zoomed in, the words were crystal clear. DNA test results minus 99.9% paternity. And the name at the top, Kirk Frost. But here's the twist that's sending shockwaves. Jasmine herself posted it on her private story. And within minutes, it was screen recorded, shared, and reposted everywhere. Rashida's fans are going off. Kirk's been silent, and the blogs are already calling it the biggest betrayal of the year. This isn't just gossip anymore. This is receipts, exposure, and a scandal about to blow wide open. The night began quietly, almost suspiciously. So, no drama, no shade posts, no subliminal shots, just the usual reposts from love and hip-hop fan pages and the occasional fashion selfie. Kirk Frost hadn't made any public appearances in weeks. Rashida was busy promoting her clothing line, and Jasmine. Well, Jasmine had been oddly low-key, at least until 10:47 p.m. That's when the quiet shattered. On her private Instagram story, one she only allows her close friends to see, Jasmine uploaded a single photo. No flashy filter, no caption, no music. Just a piece of paper, sitting on what looked like a kitchen counter. Across the top, bold capital letters screamed DNA test results. And just below that, the name Kirk Frost appeared under the section labeled Alleged Father. For a split second, some people thought it was fake. It's a clout move, a storyline grab. But when fans zoomed in, they saw it. It's a paternity probability percentage, 99.9%. And the mother's name, redacted with a thick black marker. But the baby's date of birth was right there less than 1 year ago. It didn't take long for chaos to erupt at first. Only a handful of people saw the story, maybe 20 tops. But this is reality TV world. Nothing stays private for long. Someone screen recorded it, cropped it, and posted it on Twitter with the caption, Jasmine, are you trying to tell us something? That post had barely 200 likes when it caught the attention of a popular love and hip-hop tea page. By 11:30 p.m., it was everywhere. Kirk, explain this. 99.9%? You're done, sir. Rashida, please tell me you saw this before the rest of us did. Within minutes, hashtags started forming like wildfire. Hashtag Kirk Frost baby scandal. Hashtag Jasmine Goat receipts. Hashtag second baby confirmed. One fan tweeted, "Oh, so this is why Kirk been wearing that guilty church face lately." Another wrote, "Rashida better go live before Jasmine wins the narrative." And then, the Shade Room got involved at exactly 12:04 a.m. They posted the blurred screenshot with the caption, "Jasmine playing no games tonight. Thoughts?" The comment section became an instant war zone. Some believed Jasmine was finally coming, clean and exposing the truth. "I've been saying for years Kirk ain't faithful. The man is allergic to monogamy." Others weren't convinced. "Nah, Jasmine doing this because the show needs ratings. Y'all can't tell me she didn't wait for cameras to roll." But the detail that sent everyone into a frenzy was the date on the DNA test just 3 months ago. This wasn't some dusty old scandal from a decade back. This was fresh, which meant the cheating, if true, happened while Kirk was smiling for cameras, playing the devoted husband role, and pushing the strong black family brand alongside Rashida. Fans became amateur detectives overnight. Someone pulled up Jasmine's old posts and pointed out a picture from last year where she wore the same countertop background as the one in the DNA photo. Others dug into Kirk's timeline, pointing out a suspicious 3-day business trip he took to Miami around the same time the baby would have been conceived, by 1:30 a.m. Celebrity blogs had joined the feeding frenzy. Gossip of the City posted a collage comparing the baby's side profile to one of Kirk's sons, writing, "The genes don't lie." Lipstick Alley threads were already 15 pages deep. with users dissecting every inch of the DNA test photo. The cast couldn't stay silent for long. Carly Red was the first to break, posting a selfie with the caption, the math ain't mathing, boo." She didn't tag anyone, but fans knew exactly who she was talking about. Spice reposted the DNA pic on her story with nothing but a pair of side-eye emojis and Sierra. She simply wrote, "Told y'all," in bold white letters on a black background. Meanwhile, Rashida's socials were dead silent. No likes, no reposts, no inspirational quotes, just nothing. In the love and hip-hop universe, that's scarier than any rant, because silence from Rashida usually means she's either boiling mad and plotting her next move, or she's about to unleash the most savage clapback the show has seen, behind the scenes. The whispers started. Multiple insiders claimed a producer had already called Jasmine and Kirk, telling them they needed to film a sit-down ASAP. The network allegedly smelled ratings gold, and if there's one thing reality TV knows how to do, it's milk personal pain for primetime entertainment by sunrise. The scandal had grown beyond the LHHATL world. Hip-hop blogs, gossip radio shows, and even some mainstream outlets were covering it. The conversation wasn't just about Kirk anymore. It was about loyalty, betrayal, and whether Rashida had known all along and kept it quiet to protect their brand. Some fans defended her, saying, "We can't judge Rashida until she speaks. Marriage is complicated." Others were far less forgiving. "Sis stayed after the first baby." This is what happens when you ignore the red flags. And in the middle of it all, Jasmine stayed eerily calm. No rants, no defensive posts. Just a single follow-up story, a close-up shot of her manicured hand holding a baby's bottle, with the caption, "Receipts don't lie." If this was a chess game, Jasmine had just made a queen's move. She'd flipped the table, knocked over the pieces, and left Kirk with no moves but surrender. And the craziest part, sources close to her were already whispering that she wasn't done yet, that the DNA test was just the beginning of what she had. And if that's true, Kirk and Rashida's marriage might not survive what's coming. Next, by the time the sun came up, Jasmine had gone from just another love and hip-hop ex to the woman holding Kirk Frost's entire reputation in her hands. The DNA test post was still being shared across every gossip platform imaginable, and fans were refreshing her Instagram like it was the morning news. Nobody knew if she was going to double down or walk it back until 10:02 a.m. When she went live, thought the notification hit like a siren. Jasmine Washington is live, and in under 2 minutes, thousands of people had joined. Her face filled the screen, looking fresh-faced but dead serious. She didn't waste time with hellos or pleasantries, so "I guess y'all saw it," she began, her tone calm but with a razor-sharp edge. "Yes, it's real. No, it's not photoshopped. And yes, that's Kirk's baby." The comments exploded instantly. "Girl, drop the whole story. Where's Rashida? Not the DNA receipts first thing in the morning." Jasmine took a sip from her iced coffee, scrolling through the chaos. Then she leaned in closer, almost whispering, "You know what's crazy? This didn't have to get out like this. I tried to keep it private. I tried to handle it off camera, off Instagram, everything. But Kirk wanted to act like I was lying, like I was trying to trap him. So here we are." She reached off screen and came back with a thick manila folder. Inside were more papers, court filings, text message printouts, and what looked like bank statements. Jasmine tapped the stack and smirked. "And just so we're clear, this is not all I got." Fans in the live comments were losing their minds. "Drop the bank statements. Is she about to air out his finances too? Girl, we need a part 2 of this live." The live viewership shot past 20,000 as Jasmine kept talking. She revealed that the baby in question was now 8 months old, and that Kirk had allegedly been financially supporting the child, but quietly. No public acknowledgement, no family. Photos, just quiet direct deposits and secret visits. He's been sneaking around thinking he's slick, she said. Meanwhile, I'm the one dealing with the baby, with the doctor visits, with all of it. While he's on TV smiling in, Rashida's face like he's husband of the year. But then she dropped the detail that sent shockwaves through the comments, and for those asking, yes, Rashida knows. She's known for months. She just didn't think I would make it public. That one line set off an internet earthquake. People screen recorded it instantly, reposting with captions like Rashida Banu. And the betrayal is triple-sided. Meanwhile, Rashida was nowhere to be seen. No stories, no tweets, not even a vague "God got me" post. But her silence was starting to look less like shock and more like strategy. Because by noon, word leaked that a love and hip-hop camera crew had been spotted pulling up to her boutique, back on Jasmine's live. She was reading comments out loud. Someone said, "I'm doing this for a storyline." "Baby," the storyline wrote, "itself. You think I plan to have Kirk's second child while he's still married?" "Please," one fan asked her directly, "so why now?" Jasmine paused for a long moment before answering, "Because I'm tired. Tired of him trying to control the narrative. Tired of being the one who looks like the liar while he plays victim. Y'all want the truth. This is it. And then, as if on cue, someone in the comments claimed they were at OLG Candy Boris restaurant in Atlanta and had just seen Kirk sitting in a corner booth on his phone, looking like he'd seen a ghost. Oh. That comment went viral in itself, with people joking, "Kirk out here eating lemon pepper wings while his whole life burns down." By the time Jasmine ended her live, over 35,000 people had tuned in. The replay spread faster than the DNA screenshot, with fans dissecting every single word she said. Memes popped up comparing Jasmine's calm delivery to the villain reveal in a telenovela. And just when everyone thought it couldn't get messier, it did. Around 1:15 p.m., an Instagram account claiming to be the baby's godmother posted a blurry photo of Kirk holding a bundled-up infant. The caption read, "He said nobody would ever see this picture. Oops." It didn't take long for that to get picked up by the blogs, and now there was a face, albeit half hidden, to go with the scandal. That's when Rashida finally moved. At 2:07 p.m., she posted a black screen to her Instagram story with white text. "You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. God bless." No tags, no names, just vibes. But fans instantly connected the dots. Comments flooded her recent posts. "Sis, we need to live. Blink twice if you're done with him. Rashida, please let Carly drive you to the lawyer's office." By evening, the story had jumped from blogs to mainstream entertainment outlets. TMZ ran the headline, "Love and hip-hop star Kirk Frost allegedly fathered second child. DNA test leaked." Hot 97 discussed it on air with one host, saying, "If Jasmine's lying, she's got some of the best Photoshop skills in Atlanta." But nobody could deny the damage was done. Jasmine had the proof. Kirk was cornered, and Rashida was publicly humiliated again. And the scariest part for Kirk? Jasmine hinted she still had one more receipt that would end the conversation forever. If she really drops it, this might not just ruin Kirk's marriage, it could destroy his entire career by the time the sun dipped behind the Atlanta skyline. The scandal had evolved from a messy Instagram moment into a full-blown reality TV crisis. Love and hip-hop producers weren't just watching the drama unfold. They were mobilizing. Crew vans were seen pulling up to Frost Bistro, Kirk and Rashida's restaurant, as well as to Rashida's boutique, Pressed. Cameras were rolling. Inside the boutique, Rashida sat behind the counter, her phone face down in front of her. She wasn't wearing her usual high-energy smile. Instead, she had that tight, unbothered look that fans recognized instantly, the one that meant she was one insult away from going off. Two producers sat across from her, mics clipped to their shirts, doing their best to ease her into the conversation. "So, have you seen Jasmine's posts?" one producer asked gently. Rashida gave a low chuckle, the kind that isn't from amusement but pure disbelief. "Baby, seen 'em. Everybody's seen M. My mama's seen M. K-Resser's seen M. Shoot, I'm pretty. Sure, the pastor at my church done seen M. She leaned back, crossing her arms. What I ain't seen is my husband explaining a damn thing. Cut to Kirk, across town, pacing inside a dimly lit Frost bistro. He was alone in the dining area, phone pressed to his ear, his voice low and urgent. The crew had been told not to interrupt, but the cameras still captured fragments, blown out of proportion. Wasn't supposed to go public, I'll handle it. The public wasn't buying any blown out of proportion narrative, though. Every social media platform was eating up the scandal. Twitter was flooded with memes of Kirk's infamous season 6 confession scene, the one where he admitted to cheating on Rashida before, with captions like, "History repeats itself when you refuse to study for the test." But the real turning point came that evening, when VH1 scheduled an emergency cast meeting to address the situation. It wasn't just about damage control. They knew ratings would be astronomical if they could get all 3 players in. One room, the setup was simple. A sleek black backdrop, 3 chairs, cameras everywhere. Kirk was seated on one end, Rashida in the middle, Jasmine on the opposite side. Producers stayed behind the cameras, letting the tension simmer. It was silent for a full 30 seconds before Jasmine spoke. Her tone casual, almost mocking. "So, you gonna say it, or should I?" Kirk didn't look at her. "Ain't nothing to say, Jasmine." Rashida's head snapped toward him. "Nothing to say? Really, Kirk? Course it looks like the whole internet thinks you got something to say." Air was so thick, you could cut it. Jasmine smirked, pulling the same manila folder from her live stream. "These papers, they don't lie. The baby's yours. And you've been paying for him, quietly." Kirk finally looked up, his jaw tight. "I've been helping you out because that's what I do." That don't mean Rashida slammed her hand on the armrest. Helping her out. "Kirk, it's a DNA test. 99.9%. Unless you got a twin brother I don't know about. This is your child." The room went dead. Silent. Even the camera crew seemed to hold their breath. Jasmine leaned forward. "And you know what's wild? He told me he was gonna tell you. Said he just needed to find the right time. Guess that time never came, huh?" The comment section on the live stream, because of course, VH1 was streaming this emergency meeting for maximum buzz, went nuclear. Kirk got caught in 4K again. Rashida's patience is god level. Jasmine didn't come to play. But then Jasmine dropped the twist nobody saw coming. "You think that's the only reason I went public?" "Nah. I went public because Kirk was about to cut me off. And I got proof of why." She reached into the folder again, this time pulling out screenshots of text messages allegedly between Kirk and another woman. The dates were recent, and the messages weren't just flirtatious, they were explicit. Rashida stared at the printouts, her lips pressed into a thin line. She didn't need to read them aloud. The disgust on her face said it all. "So, let me get this straight," she said slowly. "You got a second baby, you still creeping, and you think you're gonna make me look like a fool on national TV? Nah, we done." Kirk's head dropped. He muttered something under his breath, but the mic caught it. This ain't how it was supposed to go. Rashida stood up, straightened her blazer, and walked off set without another word. The cameras followed her all the way to the parking lot, where she got into her car and slammed the door. Inside, Kirk sat frozen while Jasmine flipped through her folder like she was reviewing a case file. "You might want to get comfortable, Kirk, 'cause I'm just getting started." Back on social media, the clip of Rashida walking out was trending within minutes. Fans hailed it as her queen moment, while others debated whether she'd really leave him for good this time. Carly read, "Never one to miss an opportunity. Went live from her car that night saying, 'I told y'all the truth was gone, come out. Ain't no secrets in Atlanta.' Not the crazy part? Sources close to production leaked that this meeting wasn't the last. They were already scheduling a follow-up taping where Jasmine planned to bring the final piece, something she claimed would make Kirk wish he'd never touched a camera in his life. If the DNA test was the spark, this next move, was promising to be the explosion. 2 days had passed since the emergency meeting and Rashida's dramatic walkout. But the dust hadn't settled. If anything, the fire had spread. Every entertainment blog, YouTube gossip channel, and Twitter thread was buzzing with theories about what Jasmine's so-called final piece could be. Rumors ranged from a secret video to bank records showing hush money payments. But when word leaked that VH1 was flying in a mystery guest for the next taping, the internet lost its mind. Who could it be? Another woman? A family member? Maybe even the baby's real godparent? The speculation was endless. By the afternoon of the taping, Frost Bistro had been cleared out for filming. The black backdrop returned, but this time there was an extra chair. Jasmine sat in her usual spot, looking composed and camera ready. Kirk was already there too, looking tired, his baseball cap pulled low, jaw clenched. Rashida, not in sight yet. The producers gave the signal. Cameras rolled. Jasmine crossed her legs, resting the infamous manila folder on her lap like a loaded weapon. "So, you ready to do this, Kirk?" she asked, her voice dripping with that fake sweetness only reality TV pros can pull off. Kirk exhaled slowly. "Jasmine, I'm here, ain't I? Let's just get this over with." She smiled. But it wasn't warm. "Oh, we will." And then the doors opened. In walked Rashida, wearing a fierce red blazer and high-waisted jeans, her heels clicking on the floor like gunshots. She didn't look at Kirk right away. Instead, she went straight to the third chair, sitting down. With her arms folded, "I'm here." That, ladies and gentlemen, is the baby's godmother. And surprise, surprise, she's also been sleeping with Kirk. The producer's jaws practically hit the floor. This wasn't in the pre-taping notes. Kirk shifted uncomfortably, muttering, "That's not even true." But Jasmine was already pulling out screenshots of text messages between Kirk and the mystery woman. The messages were flirty, explicit, and full of details about their meetups, including the hotel room from the photo. Rashida picked up the printouts, scanning them in silence. Then she let out a laugh, not the amused kind, but the bitter, "I'm so done" kind. "So let me get this straight. If you cheat on me, have another baby, cheat again with a baby's godmother, and somehow think you're still gonna keep all this quiet." Kirk didn't answer. Jasmine leaned back, clearly enjoying herself. "You know what the funniest part is? The godmother didn't even know about me until last month. He told her the baby's mom was some girl he hooked up with." Once at this point, Rashida stood up. "I'm done with this. Y'all can keep filming this mess, but I'm not sitting here letting this clown embarrass me for the third time on TV." She started to walk out again, but this time the producers scrambled. One of them called after her, "Rashida, wait. There's more." She froze in the doorway, turning slowly. "More." Jasmine reached into the folder one last time and pulled out what looked like a wire transfer receipt. She placed it on the table between them. $15,000 sent from Frost Bistro's business account to the godmother's personal bank account. 3 weeks ago, that was the breaking point. Rashida turned to Kirk, eyes blazing. "So now you're stealing from our business to pay for your little side projects." Kirk tried to speak, but Rashida cut him off with a raised hand. "Don't. Just don't. You've officially embarrassed me, our family, and our business. I hope you and your little crew of baby mamas and godmamas are happy together." With that, she walked out for real this time, the sound of the door slamming echoing in the room. The producers didn't call cut. They kept the cameras rolling as Kirk sat there, looking like a man whose world had just collapsed. Jasmine, on the other hand, calmly gathered her folder, slipped on her sunglasses, walked out in the opposite direction. Within an hour, clips from the taping had leaked online. Fans were in full meltdown mode. "This is worse than we thought. Rashida better divorce him for real this time." Jasmine came with the new codes. And then, just when people thought the night was over, the mystery woman herself posted a cryptic Instagram story. "If y'all only knew the half of it." The scandal wasn't just alive, it was mutating. And whatever was coming next had the potential to blow the whole situation wide open all over again by the next morning. Atlanta felt like it was holding its breath. Everyone in the love and hip-hop world, cast, fans, bloggers, was waiting to see if the mystery woman from Jasmine's final piece would actually speak. She didn't wait long. At exactly 9:14 a.m., an unfamiliar Instagram handle @TheRealTAM posted a black and white photo of a woman sitting on a couch, her face half hidden by her long hair. The caption read, "Since my name out there now, I might as well tell my truth. 7 p.m. live." The internet erupted instantly. Gossip pages scrambled to grab screenshots. Fans flooded the comments. "Oh, this about to get juicy. Sis better bring receipts or log off. Not another live." By the time 7 p.m. rolled around, Tia's follower count had jumped from under 2,000 to over 60,000. Her live started with a shaky camera and a heavy sigh. She didn't waste time. "I'm Tia. Yes, I'm the woman in that hotel photo with Kirk. And before y'all start, no, I didn't know the whole situation when it started. I met him at a charity event last year. He told me he was separated." The comments were flying so fast she could barely read them. "Separated where? On Mars. We heard that lie before. Girl, don't act brand new." Tia shook her head. "Believe what you want. But the truth is, I didn't find out about Jasmine or that baby until months later. And when I did, he told me it was just baby mama drama and he was handling it." Then came the part that made jaws drop, y'all. "Keep asking about the $15,000. Yes, he sent it. But it wasn't hush money. It was because I'm pregnant." The chat froze for a moment, then exploded. "Nah, nitrogen monoxide way. Not another baby. Rashida gonna pass out when she hears this." Tia nodded slowly, clearly aware she had just set off a bomb. "I wasn't gonna say anything, but I'm tired of being painted like some random side chick. I've been to his house, I've met some of his friends, and now I'm carrying his child. So if y'all think this scandal's over, think again." Clips of her live spread like wildfire within minutes. The blogs were running double headlines. Now, Kirk Frost facing third baby scandal amid DNA drama. Mystery woman confirms pregnancy. Jasmine not the only one. By 9 p.m., even celebrities outside the love and hip-hop universe were chiming in. Tamar Braxton tweeted, "Whoo, chili. The fertility is strong with this one." Carly Red went live yet again, laughing so hard she could barely speak. "I told y'all he couldn't keep IT in his pants." Meanwhile, Rashida was still silent. Fans speculated she was either lawyering up or filming her own Talal scene for the show. Some claimed they saw her at a well-known divorce attorney's office earlier that afternoon. Though no one could confirm. Kirk, however, finally broke his silence in the worst possible way. Around midnight, he posted a black screen to his Instagram with the words, "Y'all believe anything you hear? Stop playing with my family." The comments were merciless. So which family are we talking about now? The first one, the second one, or the new one? You've got more families than a Netflix drama. But the damage was done. Kirk's credibility was shot. Jasmine was basking in vindication. And Tia had just guaranteed herself a storyline in the next season, whether she wanted one or not. The next day, producers set up an urgent meeting with Tia, Jasmine, and Rashida. The goal was to film a sit-down that could serve as the season finale bombshell. But Rashida allegedly refused to be in the same room as Tia. Instead, she agreed to a two-part confrontation, one with Jasmine, one with Tia, and neither woman would know exactly when she was walking in. Behind the scenes, tensions were at an all-time high. Crew members whispered that VH1 had to hire extra security for the taping, just in case things got physical. The cast group chat was in chaos, with half the members taking bets on whether Rashida would finally leave. Kirk and the other half betting she'd stay for the brand. And then came the curveball nobody expected. Jasmine went live again, but this time, instead of attacking Kirk or Rashida, she went for Tia. "Oh, so now you pregnant too? Cute. But since you're telling truths, why don't you tell the people where you really met Kirk? 'Cause it wasn't no charity event." She smirked, sipping from a wine glass. It was at that private poker game in Buckhead, the one where they were filming that YouTube reality series. And guess who else was there? One of Rashida's close friends. Yeah, the rabbit hole goes deep, y'all. The comments were relentless. Kirk moving like he in a crime drama, not the poker game plug-in. Oh, this is about to get messier. And messier it would get because the next taping wasn't just going to be about Jasmine's receipts or Tia's pregnancy. Word leaked that someone else from Kirk's past had contacted the producers, and she claimed her story would make Jasmine and Tia look like amateurs. The scandal wasn't dying, it was multiplying. And with every twist, the question became louder. How much more could Rashida take before she finally burned it all down? VH1 knew they had struck scandal, gold, and they weren't going to waste it. After days of leaks, lives, and cryptic posts, they decided the season's last taping would be the moment all three women in the same room. Kirk in the hot seat and cameras rolling for what they promised would be the most explosive love and hip-hop scene in years. Security was doubled. The set was staged like a reunion special. A plush white couch for Kirk, and 3 separate chairs arranged in a half circle facing him. The producers had warned the cast there would be no surprises. But in love and hip-hop land, that's code for everything is about to go left. Kirk walked in first, dressed in a black hoodie and jeans, cap pulled low. He looked exhausted, the kind of exhaustion that comes from being chased by social media for a week straight. Minutes later, Jasmine arrived, strutting in with her infamous manila folder tucked under her arm like a trophy. She gave Kirk a quick glance, then sat down without a word. Then came Tia, the mystery woman-turned-pregnancy reveal. She wore all white, her small baby bump visible under a fitted dress. Her eyes locked on Jasmine. The tension was immediate. The air was thick enough to choke on when the final chair remained empty. Kirk glanced at it, confused. That's when the door opened one last time, and in walked Rashida. The crowd of producers and crew couldn't hide their shock. Nobody had been sure she'd actually show up. But there she was, dressed in sharp black and gold, her face unreadable. She didn't greet anyone. She just sat, crossed her legs, and stared straight at Kirk. The producers gave the cue to start filming. Rashida's voice was low, controlled. "So, Kirk, you got 2 women here saying they're having your kids. You've got Jasmine with a DNA test, proving one is yours, and you got me sitting here wondering how you managed to blow up our entire marriage again. Explain." Kirk shifted uncomfortably. "Rashida, it's not like Jasmine cut him off." "Oh, it's exactly like that. And before you start lying again, I brought something new." She opened her folder and pulled out a USB drive. Handing it to the producers, she said, "Play it." The big monitor flickered to life. It was a grainy video from a hotel security camera. The footage showed Kirk entering a hotel room late at night with Tia. The timestamp: just 6 weeks after the baby in Jasmine's DNA test was born. The room erupted. Crew members gasped. Tia sat back in her chair, eyes wide. "Wait, I didn't even know about that baby at the time," she said, turning to Kirk. "You were already